Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about lunar cycles and the significance behind them. Why they're important to follow and keep up with is because it's easier for you to kind of monitor and track your progression through life when you have, like, for instance, we know the days are over when the sun sets, right? So we count that as a day. It's done, it's over. So with lunar cycles, it's like when we're trying these new things, setting these intentions, setting these goals, you're tracking the lunar, you're seeing the moon go through its phases as you're working through your new idea, your intention, your new goal. So you can kind of like check back in, be like, oh, okay. If you get too wrapped up, as I like to call it, like, I utilize like your spirit animal. Like, I squirrel out and I get like in my squirrel zone and I'll be like, nuts, nuts, and like, winter's coming and like hibernating and I'm a squirrel. But like, check out the moon, let's see what's up. I forget, I just undistract myself from my nut collecting and like whatever, and I realize the bigger picture and the things that I'm working on in my life. So if I feel overwhelmed or stressed, then we're squirreled out. I reassess, recheck back in, ground per se. That's basically what this helps you do. It helps you keep balance and a grounding you on keeps you grounded, keeps you from feeling like you're losing your mind, basically. Like, you're like, I feel like I've been doing this forever, and then like look at the moon and be like, oh wow, we're only like let's say for like tomorrow, like a little sliver will be showing. It's like, oh, I've only tried this for a day, let me give it more of a shot. So that's basically what it is. Like, your moon is like your life coach, you know what I mean? Like what I do with my clients, I like hit them up. Hey, how's that goal that you're working on treating ya? Did you give it a shot to do this? Did you try to do that? You know what I mean? That's the same kind of deal. The moon's just to remind you of your own goals and your own things that you set. So today, tonight with the new moon, it's all about setting new intentions and new goals, because the new moon is like a cosmic reset button. And basically, we are new people every time we learn something, really. We no longer look at something the same way anymore. So we are no longer operating at that old computer system program. You're no longer operating like that because you become aware of something and now you're trying to operate differently. So don't try to install some like old Windows programming onto like your iPhone. Like, obviously that's not going to work. So what do? We like got rid of motherboards and whatever the case may be. It's like, evolve, move on, and don't be hanging on to your past like, oh man, like, don't you wish we could play that Prince of Persia game right now with the arrows and Q whatever is my other buttons? Like, nobody wants that. Nobody's gonna like be like, yeah, that's the kind of game that I want to go back to. Like, no, we evolved. We got like Xbox and stuff and like PCs and things like that, and like more technologically advanced stuff, so we don't bring out the past technology and be like, remember, this is working, right? No, it's not working. That's why they came out with new ones. Huh. So that's what we gotta do during this new moon. So let's assess what is not working for us, old programming, and let us install our update, basically. So we choose what that update is. It's not like Apple, they choose whatever, and they just do whatever. We choose, it's our energy, we get to decide. So, what's not working? Let's reassess, because it's that time. You look outside, a new moon, it's time to assess. So, what's not working? Drop it. It's hard to let go. You want to know why it's hard to let go? Because when you let go of, let's say, an already painted canvas that you painted and you don't like this painting, and you're like, ugh, why? I just want to fix it. I just want to add this, make it different. I want to fix it in some way. All you're going to do is keep muddling up the canvas, adding more color that's just going to make it this brown, icky, or like black color. Like, you're just gonna keep piling it and thicker, and then it's gonna look bad and like, no. But why it's uncomfortable to scrap that canvas and start completely fresh is because when we get that blank canvas in front of us, there's so many possibilities, and we get scared thinking about like, wow, we get to paint this canvas. First thing you think, I don't know how to paint. Okay, well, that's besides the point. The canvas needs paint on it, so like figure out what to do, like throw it at it, splatter it up, get in there, dive in there, try something about it. You know what I mean? Don't keep trying to like paint over the old shit. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Face the fact that it's gonna be weird and it's gonna be uncomfortable and it's gonna be difficult to start that new canvas, but at least you propped it up on that stand. At least you got it out there and you got it ready. And at least you just are not carrying around that heavy ass canvas that you put all these extra layers of paint on and it looks like shit. Like, it's gone. So now you don't have to fix something. You get to build it right the first time. Start it right the first time. And just because you're not a mason doesn't mean you can't learn masonry. I know that's like a weird thing to say, but like, think about it. Like, we can't just always throw up our hands and say, well, that's not my job, or that's not what I know how to do, or I can't do that. Why not? That's what I say. Why not? Why can't you build your own infrastructure? Why can't you become that mason? A lot of people, when they tell me, wow, you do such beautiful work, I thank them because I am appreciative, for sure. But I always like to remind them that 2 or 3 years ago, I had a piece of sandpaper and a rock in my hand. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea. I didn't even know what I was doing was even a profession or even something that was done. So I just like thought I was like crafting and having a good, like I was crafting and having a good time. But my thing is, like, I just kept doing it. I stuck with it and I learned how to become a lapidary artist. I didn't wake up one morning already a lapidary artist. So sometimes to make room for that knowledge of, let's say, lapidary, I had to get rid of old ideals, like a hand piece of sandpaper. Like, trust me. Here, I'll give you an example of how I started. See, piece of sandpaper, rock. This was my life. I still do this from time to time because, like, it is therapeutic, but, like, it's kind of bad on the shoulder. But it takes a lot longer. Forever, actually. Either way, that's how I started. And now I'm able to take something that looks like this, just a rock, and make it into something like this, which is a heart. So I'll show you what this originally looked like. Originally, how did I see the heart in this? I didn't. But I've still created one. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort to learn something new, but A, it's worth it, and B, just look at it. Like, why wouldn't you want to strive forward to take what you have and mold it into something that you want, right? Let's say I personally, well, this is a perfect one. This one helps relieve depression and things like that. It's called chiralphrase. I forget how to pronounce that. Don't make fun of me. I read everything, so I've never actually heard the word actually used. But, so let's say my intention moving forward, because my biggest strife that I've been working on, let's just say, has been my depression. So, I would then take a stone that's for handling and balancing my depression and working on that and alleviating it, and I would wear that because this is already vibrating at the frequency that I'm trying to get at. So to make affirmations now about my future, it's going to be a little bit easier when you've got that frequency already kind of within your range, because it's definitely hard to tune your own radio or tune your own guitar if you don't have like that sound. Like someone's like, hey yo, hit middle C for me, bro, and then like bow, 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 bow. You know what I mean? You need like that basis, that ground level starting point. So say I'm working on setting my intention about working on alleviating depression and moving forward with a happier life. So Kyra phrase, pop up puppy on. Then I'd grab myself one of these guys. Crystal quartz. Crystal quartz amplifies your intentions. That's why it's important to cleanse and clear them first, though. And the action of doing that is helping you to feel like you're actually moving on, because you're like, okay, this dude's been hanging out in my house, in my room, around where I've been crying and where I've been depressed, where I've been blah, 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 and he's amplifying that me. That me is old, it's dead, it's done, because I don't want that anymore. So I'm moving forward, and then so I will cleanse. You can do this with smudge sticks, the smoke. To be honest, any type of smoke, I've done it, because when you think about it, smoke represents fire, fire represents life, represents new beginning, all that jazz. So there was a time I had used a cigarette. I was like, okay, you be cleansed. But like, it's the action of and your involvement with the process that retrains your brain, because your brain is super powerful, retrains your brain into the new intentions that you want to be in. So let's say I cleanse and I clear him. I got some smudge sticks. Here's an example. Smudge. Yerba Santa. So let's say I burn this puppy, get him all nice and cleansed out. You can also use singing bowls. I love using the singing bowl. It's like the most, I can feel that. Like, I feel like they're balanced, they're more clear, they're more cleansed and ready to go because of a singing bowl. So anyway, once he's clean, cleansed, and I reprogram it, because now I got a program because they amplify your intentions. So moving forward with my new intention is, my intentions are, I am going to live mindfully. I'm going to enjoy every moment. I am going to be appreciative to be alive, and I'm going to strive for finding balance between my depression and living my life. It's a pretty good goal, right? So once he's charged up and he's all like ready to go, because I'm like, right, buddy, we got this, we're gonna do it together, then I would bring that outside with me later on tonight, go out in the moon, well, lack of moon because it's new moon, and I'd set that intention and I'd release it out into nature, you know, where we're all connected, because like, that's just something you can't deny, we're all connected via nature. But a tangible reason behind doing that is because you're not stuck in the stagnancy of your house. You're physically doing something different. Am I right? You're changing something already by going out of your comfort zone and going outside with a giant crystal and being like, woohoo, universe, I hear you and I'm coming. I'm raising my vibrations. And yeah. So then you would have your chiral phrase, which is the intention of alleviating depression. Then I have my quartz, which is amplifying my now matched brain thought with my matched frequency, in turn amplifying my frequency with this guy. In turn, I am now vibrating at a frequency that is saying I am done with my depression and I am moving on. Saying like, these are steps to be taken to raise your vibration, to higher your mindset, to get you on a more positive thought process, to get you moving again. And so I recommend rifling through your crystal cabinet, if you have one, or not, hit me up and I'll suggest something for you. On an intention you want to go forward with. Let's say, what else? Oh yeah, I'm wearing one of my Lumarian seed crystals, and like I recently am becoming more interested in learning about what it is the Lumarians had for us to learn. So moving forward, I could say like that's something I'm working on. So I'll bring my Lumarian seed out with me, so I can vibrate at that frequency, that level. Citrine, happiness, personality, spunk, and motivation, energy. Um, that's another thing though. You can do these things every day, but it's about those big changes that you kind of want to, like I personally, like you can't make a huge thing overnight. We all know that. There's no drastic change overnight thing. So that's why you have the time of the entirety of the lunar cycle to kind of work with your new intention and your new goal. And if it's not working afterwards, then full moon comes. What do? Bust out our smudge stick, bust out our selenite wands, and we cut out the things that are no longer serving us. We do it on a spiritual practice level with our selenite and our energy and whatever, on a tangible level. But really what you're doing is you're retraining your brain once again, because that is very, very strong, but you want to get on that frequency. So it's like, I could say all day, if my energy's not strong and I say all day, I'm not going to let A, B, and C bother me. Sometimes that's not as easy as it sounds. So, but if I take out my selenite wand and I'm like, because I know selenite's high vibrational stone, I know that what it's used for and the properties in my mind, so I can envision, I can imagine me actually eliminating these cords and cutting this out of my life, and then literally cutting them. Now I feel like I tangibly did something, so my brain says like, okay, we did it. You know what I mean? We got this because you did the things. And now we have this free space in our brain to download new information. So these are just tools. Crystals are tools. Everything around us is a tool for us to use, but at the end of the day, our energy is ours. We control it. We control it however we want to. But it's hard to retrain your brain. It's hard to get in that mindset. So we utilize these tools to help us. So tonight, I will be setting my intentions and my goals, and then sticking with them, practicing them often, and then when the full moon comes, I will see from what I have made as my new intentions, I'll see if they are working for me still at that point, and if not, then cut them out. Don't change the plan. You cut out what's not working. Then continue with your plan again. Then you get to the next new moon. Now, was that plan in its entirety working still? No. Then we cut that whole shit out and we start new. Cosmic reset. So give yourself that entirety of the cycle to really give it a shot. Yeah.